His dear comrade.
I'm gonna let him say what he had to say.
What's up, what's up? How you doing, Africa Town? Woo-hoo. Let me get that one more time. How you doing, Africa Town?
Black power.
All right, today is a special day. You already know, Billion Godson is running for the State Assembly, seat 55. And, you know, I just want to say that it's a pleasure to be a part of this campaign. You know what I'm saying? We have a 10-year anniversary coming up. And so, you know, Africa Town Coalition has put a lot of work in over the years, y'all. And so this campaign is just a culmination of all the work that we have done at the leadership of Billion Godson. So you know who he is. Give him a hand right quick. That's right, that's right. So, you know, we are the People's Party. We ain't got no fluff. We ain't connected to the money. We ain't doing none of that. We out there hustling, getting them signatures. And we already have a platform because we built that platform over 10 years. So what I would like to do is I just like to call up Billion Godson, our next Assembly member, 55 for the State Assembly, y'all. I am 55. Everybody say that. I am 55.
I am 55.
I am 55.
I am 55.
Black power.
Hey, what's up, family? So, like Kevin said, I am reluctantly running for Assembly District. And the reason being is a few years ago, we had, we're working with a statewide coalition called CJ. Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, and we were able to get the state to acknowledge they owe us reparations. Regardless of how people feel about it, the state of California has acknowledged those of us who descend from people who were emancipated from U.S. chattel slavery are owed reparations. It is in the state records. They're saying they owe us between $350,000, which is the wealth gap between us, the average one of us, and the average white person, up to $1.2 million. And unfortunately, our own Black Legislative Caucus decided to block these bills last year. We had two bills to get all the way to the finish line. One, to establish an agency that would do the genealogy to identify those of us that descend from folks who were emancipated from slavery. The second bill was to actually establish a fund for both California, the state of California, to start paying into this fund, and for entities like the banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, insurance companies, and others that also benefited off the enslavement of our ancestors to pay money into this fund. That's right, baby. So last year, like I said, they chose to block these bills. This year, the same Black Caucus came back and said, you know what? We need to study this for another 3 to 5 years. What's going to happen with that? Right now, the rate we are being pushed out of this state, out of these counties, out of these cities, our population will decrease even smaller. And as our population decrease, representatives who will fight for us will decrease. And some will even say right now, who do we have that's actually fighting for us? So Isaac Bryan was one of the ones who chose to both block our bills last year. This year chose to further extend studying for us. And last summer, the real issue is he was one of the black misleaders who we saw hop out in the streets and hoop and cry for immigration. Right now, they have made sure immigrants are getting $5,000 a month. They're getting way more food stamps than our people every month. They're getting their rent paid every month. And a lot of us, again, whether our ancestors were enslaved, whether we identify our ancestors were here before Columbus, before the colonization of America, and what has repeatedly happened to us since slavery, whether it be the Jim Crow laws or the so-called war on drugs, we have been the primary targets. That's right. But once again, to brush our issue to the side, they have now flooded our communities with a bunch of other people, and everybody always wants to say, oh, well, you know, black and brown, this, that, and the other. But check this out. We helped a lot of these other people get into these jobs right now they are locking us out of. That's fact. We helped a lot of these people get into these good government jobs, get on these construction sites, and get in a lot of different places, but they're turning around and they're giving us the middle finger. They're watching us out here die on these sidewalks. That's one of the main things we've been fighting for the past 3 years. Right here in Africatown, right here on Dayton, we had Brother Dave die right here in front of the bike shop. We had Lucky die in the park. We had Sister Yugi die in this parking lot. My brother Reggie died in that parking lot last year. So that's what I'm saying. All these games, everybody playing with us, talking about they need another study for us, but they can pay everybody like right now. They started paying these other people last September. That's right. But they keep putting us on pause. So that's what this campaign is about. I'm not trying to become no career politician. I don't even want to do this crap. I wish we had somebody who was in that form, you know, wanted to be a politician, really fighting for us, but they playing us right now, y'all. In 3 to 5 years, more of us will not be here if we don't start pressing the line. So I'm actually running for the seat, but we need other people to step up and help us get this seat. We have a petition going around to get myself nominated to get on the ballot, but also once we get on the ballot, because that's about to happen, we need folks to get registered to vote, because what we know is, here's a unique thing about this district. This district is called the 55th District. Basically from Normandy all the way west to the beach cities. Like Santa Monica, Venice, all of that is just outside. That's just west of our district. But here's the way they play us. In 1/3 of our district, pretty much from here on up into the hills, these hills right here are considered the 3 wealthiest black communities in the nation. Windsor Hills View Park, Baldwin Hills, Ladera Heights. Leimert Park, which we claim as our Africatown, is considered the top politically engaged district in California, meaning our people vote at a higher rate than anybody. But here's how they play us. They cut our district in such a way to where our 1/3 is now tied in to Culver City, Carthay, Palms, all these other non-black, predominantly non-black areas. So it's 2 of those to every one of us, meaning if we as black people came together and said we wanted to do this, basically what Isaac is telling us, no, he got more people in those other districts to where he's not even going to fight for us. And again, that's what's happening right now. Again, all of the tax dollars we've been paying for all these years, we've been denied, but we're saying other people being brought over here to replace us. So that's what this campaign is about, but we need everybody to do your part. If you are not registered to vote, we need you to get registered. Prior to this, I hadn't voted for like 30 years. You know, Bill Clinton played that trick on me. He was supposed to be beating Bush, because back in '92, Bush was the devil. You know, he was the Trump, and we tried to get Bush out, but we voted him in, and he came with the Crime Act. And they started extracting black folks by the thousands out of our community. So that's when we saw the Democrats and the Republicans playing the same game. The Republicans flooded our communities with crack. The Democrats used that as the excuse to lock us up. That's right. The Democrats came after the warrior class in the 90s, so-called war on gangs. But then once Obama got in office, they came after the black middle class and allowed these banks to take over a quarter of a million homes with these predatory loans. So again, these are the games that both of them are playing on us. That's why we fighting to get in there so we can raise up our reality and fight for what we need. So one more time, can we get a I am 5'5"? I am 5'5". So again, this isn't about getting billion elected. This is about getting all of us on collective reparations. I love y'all. Black power.
Teach.